Three, two, one.
Oh, okay. We in this thing. It's recording. Finally.
Set it up.
Finally.
Actually,
I'm sorry.
recording is higher quality.
Yeah, apparently it's higher quality.
It looks pretty good right now.
It looks good regardless. Hey, man.
It looks pretty good right now.
We're here. It's some technical difficulties.
We're here.
The app was hating on us. A lot of naysayers, a lot of doubters. But we're here, and we're live in video.
Oh my god! Yes.
Hold on. Pause.
This is crazy because it's. Go for it.
Welcome to the first
to season 2, episode 1.
We went digital this shit. We're going digital.
Fucking Showdown.
Bobby digital.
I've never seen a podcast come up so fast in such little time. We went from on our little cell phones to now we're fucking
on the cellies. On the cellies.
We have visual.
I'm almost
like flabbergasted. This is just kind of crazy.
We got mics and shit, like legit mics. We're not sounding like weird and we got those. We got mics.
No, man, you sounded perfect all year long. It was me that just no one could hear or understand. Dude, I used to go back and listen to our podcast and be like, I sounded terrible. But yeah, we sound good now, baby.
We sound.
Let's see.
We sound amazing. I might bump my mic. I don't know. Let me see if my volume's kicking out of it. I don't want to be going up too high. I'm standing consistently in the yellow and the green, so we're good. All right. No, we'll learn how to further use this app. Hopefully it doesn't deter us from this far out. We're going to have to just get new laptops altogether. But welcome. We did to the Saturday Showdown.
Showdown, baby.
We got to work on. We got to get us some legit intro music this year. Since now we're doing this, we're going to get something legit.
Yeah, for real.
We're going to get something legit for the Saturday Showdown. But, man.
100%.
We're here. It's the first episode of the second season, and we are kind of running behind the 8 ball. We're not going to lie to you. So we're going to jump into division previews. Conference previews. And we're just going to do that. And then doing that, and so we'll talk, top 25. We'll talk stuff like that. We'll probably try to do that episode right before week 0. So we're going to hammer out as many conference previews as we can here in the next few weeks, so be looking out for that. We're not going to put no specific days on. We're literally just going to hammer them out. Anytime he's available, I'm available. We're going to hammer them out every night. If we got to do one tomorrow night, Thursday nights, we're going to hammer as many we can out and put them up so we can get them out there to you guys. So we're not feeling so rushed for the season. I think last year we had some really good shows. And I think this year we're just going to focus in on what makes us really great, the things that make us unique, and we're not going to try to be something we're not, like we told you guys from the beginning. So we're going to focus on what we're good at, and we gave you guys hella good picks last year. So ride with us. Share this, review if you don't.
Hey.
If you're not giving 5 stars, you're not sharing it, I'm just going to think something of you. You know what I'm saying? The big H, and I ain't talking Houston.
What the fuck are you doing? If you're not giving us 5 stars, the fuck?
I don't want 4.
It really costs nothing to do it.
Costs nothing for a share.
It's good karma. It's good karma.
So,
you would think.
Without further ado, let's get into the Big Ten preview, man.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, we're starting off with the Big Ten. We're leading off with. I know you're like, damn, this man's a Michigan fan, and we're leading off with the Big Ten. A little biased there. Just an interesting division to talk about. We're going to try to do, a bigger division and a smaller division and alternate. So just the Big Ten first. We'll get to the ACC. I'm pretty sure Chip got some thoughts about that. But um, when you look at the Big Ten, this really comes down to three schools, in my opinion. That is Michigan, the reigning Big Ten champions. Hold on.
Back to back.
Back to back. Let me put some respect on my boy's name. Big Ten
back
champions.
To back, baby.
Coming up short against TCU in the college playoff game, just really dug themselves with holes with turnovers. That was a touchdown. I don't know what the ref was looking at. I'm sorry. But nevertheless, you can't turn the ball over inside the 5. You can't have pick sixes. And you got to tackle well. When you assess the other two teams we're talking about, Ohio State, massive changes amongst this team, new quarterback. They lost 2 of their offensive linemen, still returning Marvin Harrison Jr., best player in college football.
Yeah, top.
Emeka Egbuka still returning. So that's top. I mean, both of those guys are going to go top 15.
Yeah, that's basically exactly correct.
They return pretty much almost every piece of that defense. To Tupu, Eisenberg, Storm Norton, those guys. So we'll see. That defense should be pretty.
They got 5 returning on defense. They got 7 on offense. You got a brand new quarterback with a fucking. It's basically like a brand new car, dude.
Yeah.
Everything works. Literally, you're only losing, 3 offensive linemen I'm looking at.
First one was a first rounder, Paris Campbell. DeJuan Jones, the tackle, went to the Browns. And then they lost a guard, or maybe their center.
So they lost both tackles. They're having to replace both tackles. And
which is huge for a new quarterback.
That's
let's not scoff at that.
No.
Let's not scoff at that. That's definitely not to scoff at. That could be troublesome. It could be worrisome for a young quarterback who's trying to find his footing. In the offense, Brian Hartline is the new offense coordinator. He's been a receiving coach. He's been the one churning out all these first-round picks here over the last decade. Pretty good career in Miami, if you know Brian Hartline, slot receiver. Actually played with Ryan Tannehill, which is funny if you guys know. Titans fan, he kind of is a security blanket. But here's his first year calling plays, so you got to wrinkle that in with a potentially very inexperienced group of quarterbacks. So we'll see how that lands going forward.
A very favorable schedule, if I might add.
I agree. Their schedule's
I'm
pretty
looking
favorable.
at like 2 or 3 hiccups. Obviously, you guys at Notre Dame. I'd love to see what Notre Dame can brew up this year.
It's week 4.
Notre Dame's week 4.
Bye week. Then they go to
Dame.
Maryland. Maryland should be, they should be okay.
It should be, yeah.
But they're at home
Penn
for
State.
that.
I got a little asterisk by Penn State. Hopefully, for
Penn State
standards, we can get some falling off the top here.
Well,
Penn State. What do I got Penn State at? I got Penn State. Yeah. Penn State's not bad too, man. I don't know, man. I got an asterisk around Penn State, and obviously I got them taking the L.
Penn State's actually that third team I was talking about. They could win the Big Ten, sleeper to get into the playoffs. Yeah. Really good returning team. We'll get to them in a second. But to finish up your thoughts on Ohio State, just having that Penn State and Wisconsin game, and we'll talk about Wisconsin and the changes they're going over.
Yeah, at Wisconsin.
Probably one of the most dramatic changes of a team's philosophy and just overall scheme of any team in the college football, really. Then they go to Michigan at the end of the year. Can Ryan Day, shake it off? So Ohio State got some used questions. Schedule doesn't, they don't really play anything out of conference. They do have that Notre Dame game. Notre Dame should be improved. When you look at TARP, which is something we talked about last year, it's not something I made up. This is from the Action Network. It's transfers, assets, and return and production. They have a score for every team, and it basically just brings together, passing yards make up 33%, tackles make up 40%. Offense is 33% passing yards, 30% receiving, 7% rushing, and then the rest is O-line snaps. And then on defense, it's 40% tackles, 33% pass D, 10% pressure, and then the rest is stops. So when you look at that and you break down the tarp for these teams, so far we'll jump into Michigan, Ohio State tarp, and then we'll go to Penn State. Michigan has the highest tarp in the conference. It is a net plus 5.5, returning 2.5 on offense and 3 on defense. And Ohio State is -1, -3 on offense and 2 on defense. So obviously those changes, those losses we talked about, we highlighted amongst Michigan and amongst Ohio State. You can see why they're negative. For Michigan, J.J. McCarthy returning, Blake Corum, who was in the Heisman race before he tore his meniscus, returning. Donovan Edwards, who came in his absence and tore it up, is returning. 3 of the offensive linemen are returning, and the other 2 guys are plugged in with transfers, one being from Arizona State, and I can't really recall where the other one's coming from. Colston Loveland, the freshman tight end that was forced into action when Eric All and the Shoemaker went down last year. He played, balled out. He's going to be back. Cornelius Johnson's back. Roman Wilson's back on offense. So you got that coming back on offense, and then when you look at the defense, Mozzie Smith, first-round pick, Mike Morris goes on, and the cornerback, DJ Turner, picked from the Cincinnati Bengals, the guy that ran the 4.2. They moved on, but when you look at it, Chris Jenkins Jr., which is Chris Jenkins, the NFL player, you remember Chris Jenkins?
Oh, I'm a Carolina Panther fan.
His son plays, his
plug
Michigan.
Up the middle, man.
His son, smaller guy, but does the same. Very good run stopper. Probably could be a first
cool
or second round pick.
I actually did not realize that.
Yeah, he's a lot defensive line. He's pretty good, too.
True with that.
He's pretty good, man.
285.
Shit's crazy. Edge is still kind of a question. They have a bunch of returning guys. Josiah Stewart coming in from Coastal. His last name's Harris. He wears number 32. Can't think of his first name. But Junior Coastal, linebacker. Michael Barrett returning 6-year starter. Mike Sandstrom comes back, 5th year in the slot. Will Johnson, freshman All-American last year, manning down one of the corners, even though he's coming off injury. And then Makari Page and Rod Moore both filling those safety spots. Michigan returns like 9 out of 11 starters on defense. They just got to replace the one corner position and an edge position. So and I think maybe one D tackle. So 8 starters.
Yeah, man, y'all are just like stacked to go for another great season, man. Like
it don't mean nothing if we can't bring home the big one.
True. Yeah, true.
It's time. It's time. But,
dude, I definitely got y'all
schedule into the last 3 games where they play Maryland, Penn State, and Ohio State.
Yeah, so at Penn State. That's like one I have an asterisk by. Y'all go at Michigan State, too, at Penn State, at Maryland. Y'all have...
I ain't worried about little brother this year.
3 of the last 5. 3 of the last 5 on the road.
That's how I feel about Michigan State. Really slide on them guys. Really slide on the Michigan State guys. Those guys, they real green. You know what I'm saying? They were green, but they real green.
No,
you feel me? They real green.
You
talking about Penn State. Penn State, man, their tarp is -2, and that's just -3 from the offense. And I mean, that's mostly using quarterback and some offensive linemen and guys like that. And I think it's Parker Wilson was the receiver. But on defense, they're a +1, and that's where they're going to earn their living. Penn
they got
State's
7 returning starters on defense.
Chop Robinson, top 10 pick at edge. So Penn State's going to be a problem. The thing is, it's James Franklin, though. And that matters because he tends to – he has a very terrible record between the Michigan and Ohio State since he's been at Penn State.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's only won 3 times to like 13 losses or something like that. He doesn't have a good record against Michigan and Ohio State. So the pressure's kind of on him. And Drew Aller, I mean, a lot of Penn State people were basically like, hey, we had Trace McSorley. He was the undersized kind of, really, really gritty quarterback. And then we have the other guy. God, what's his name right now? He's in Green Bay. After him, Sean Clifford. Same style of quarterback. I look at Trace McSorley and Sean Clifford, the same quarterback. Except Trace McSorley is a better athlete. Now you got Drew Aller, and they're like, yes, finally, a real quarterback. Well, you better do it. We want to see it, James Franklin. You pecan head fuck. We want to see you go out here and defeat somebody. Instead of crying in your interviews and doing all this weird shit on the sideline and yelling and all that, you need to sprint down there 50 yards. We want to see you win some games. Win a big game. Now, the thing about Penn State is, and this is where you put on your betting hat, or Ohio State or Michigan, they could lose to each other. They could cannibalize each other, all those, and still make the playoffs. So if you're looking for an opportunity to bet on one of these teams to make the playoffs, if you don't want to take them at the price of winning the Big Ten, then you could just simply take them after a loss to go to the playoffs, because all they have to do is, cannibalize each other.
That would be nice for y'all.
It would be. It would be. Unfortunately, we got that fucking stretch of Penn State and Maryland on the road before Ohio State, and I feel like that's kind of one of them games where it gets tricky. And I know you're thinking, why is it tricky with Maryland? Because Maryland there's only 3 returning quarterbacks in the Big Ten. It is J.J. McCarthy. It is Tua's little brother.
How do you even say his first name? Is it Tulia?
Yes, Tulia. It's Tulia. And who's the other returning quarterback in the Big Ten? I'm scanning my thoughts right now. Iowa got K. McNamara. He's a transfer. Ohio State's getting a new quarterback.
Dude, I didn't realize that he went to
Minnesota gets a new quarterback.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's the Rutgers quarterback. There's also
that Gavin Wimsatt dude.
It's 7 new offensive coordinators in the Big Ten, 5 new defensive coordinators, 4 new head coaches too. So a lot of turnover in this division. In this conference, a lot of turnover, a lot of uncertainty going forward. Let's talk about one of these teams, if you don't mind. You want to talk about a team who I'm just really interested in seeing what they're going to do this year?
What you got?
Wisconsin. And the reason why is actually Wisconsin actually has the highest start in this conference. They're at 8. It is 6.5 on offense and 1.5 on defense. It is heavily skewed to the offense. They do lose their defensive coordinator, Jim Leonard, but they brought in Phil Longo from North Carolina, and Luke Fickell is now the head coach, and they're going to trade in the power run game for the air raid. So this is why I spoke to earlier, the biggest scheme change amongst anybody in college football. We know Wisconsin to be like, man, 2 tight ends on the field, ground and pound. We're going to run that thing 30 times a game, big offensive lineman. And now they're going to be asked to, pass block. Let's go up tempo. Wisconsin, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
It'll take some time. I don't know who the quarterback is. It's probably going to stink because that's what Wisconsin quarterbacks do. But
they got a first-year starter out there. He's a senior, though.
Probably stinks. That's perfect. He's a first-year starter. Hey, look, listen to what you just said, Chip. First-year starter. First-year starter, he's a senior.
Brand new offense. Yeah, senior.
Yeah, first-year starter. That means he ain't never been good before now. He's just good enough to beat out whoever they got now. It just means he's good enough to beat out whoever they got now. He's no good either. So I'm just really interested.
A cast either. He's got a nice running back. I will say that.
Braylon Allen's a fucking man-child.
Yeah, man, that dude's got some legs on him.
Man, it's gonna be interesting to watch that.
Would you compare this renovation to Paul Johnson leaving Georgia Tech? Because I feel like Georgia Tech, they still ain't figured it out.
That's exactly what it is.
Once Paul Johnson left, once we fucking figured out that triple option bullshit, that was it, dude.
I played in the triple. I played in the wing tee, and it's the worst offense known to man. And people always say,
I played against the wing tee, and it's fucking horrible, bro. Oh, wait,
it's terrible. It's easy to play.
Who did you play? Who did you play?
I played for Wade Hampton.
Wade Hampton ran a wing tee?
When I was there, we ran the wing tee. It was absolutely.
What year did you graduate?
2010. It was absolutely horrible. Because the one thing I figured out is, most coaches think, we have undersized offensive linemen. We'll just out athleticism them. We'll misdirection. Yeah, but you actually have to be able to block somebody. And once they figure out your guards can't block at all or your tackles, then we'll just blitz you up the B gap. And since you're running everything wide, we'll just make sure we're like. There were teams that just understood. As long as you blitz the B gap and you hit it at the right moment, you'll stop almost every play for us because they weren't blocking the soul. They were just letting people in. Like they were just letting up the floodgates. It was just like, here you go. But I hate the wing tee.
Crazy.
I hate when it's ran to perfection. It's nice. I get it, but you got to be able to pass out of it, and you got to pass more often than you would think. And that's
late
one thing
2000s,
that you know.
That shit was a motherfucker. Late 2000s. That shit was a motherfucker. I promise you that. Now, we played Clinton. Clinton ran a damn wing tee. I was a defensive end. I was like a hybrid. I was like a edge linebacker.
You said
and I swear
Clinton?
to God, yeah, Clinton and Red Devils.
Dog, when I played against them, they ran straight like everybody on the offensive line, and they just one running back. Used to be like 9 people on the offensive line, like 3 tight ends.
Well,
literally
three
the worst
tight
shit
ends,
to play against. It was literally the worst shit to play against.
My guy would open up. That shit would literally just go. I'm like, oh hell yeah, oh hell no, and it'd be a fucking 5'8", like 285-pound fullback coming right at me and just helmet in my chest every play, man. It felt like, because I swear that shit opened up. I was like, oh fuck it, oh fuck no, oh fuck no, and then you just throwing them off, and then the running back's 5 yards already downfield.
What you just described is the reason why I don't play. I quit playing linebacker. I swear I play D-line because fuck like the linemen trying to engage
crazy,
on me
man,
and all that. Yeah, concussions and shit
that.
I
didn't play linebacker for long. I did not play linebacker for long. They tried to put me at, Brian Burns for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
that dude plays up and down, and that's basically how I played. That was JV year. And then they try to make me go full nickel or full, like, edge, like, weak side. And I was like, man, we got too many crazy linebackers on our team, man. Practice at high school, man, it's a wonder no one got hurt, man. Like, it's a wonder I didn't get injured in high school. Because, dude, people are just out there just fuck people up, man. That's high school football. People literally will go out to football just to fuck people up. That's like, bro, some of these people got careers. Like, I went to school with Kevin Dodd. I literally was the opposite end of Kevin Dodd. And that dude went to the league from Riverside High School, man.
That's crazy.
It can happen. But
it can happen.
You got one player. It's
out of like 60.
Collegiate level. Yeah, out of 60. No one's gonna. And then we had to go up and I had to tackle him. He was my tackling dummy for a long time. And I'm like, man, put me as safety, man. I'm not built for this. That man grew.
It's like, I know why I'm not going, and that's to the league. That's how it be. It's like, I'm not even going to the next level. But we'll get on with the division, man. We ain't going to bore y'all no more about the glory day. I'll try to timestamp this shit this year so you guys can just skip certain stuff if you don't want to be engaged in it. But I'm trying to timestamp it this year. I'm supposed to write it down this episode as we were going along. So just to catch up, we've only talked about 4 teams so far. Really, the only 4 teams we're even going to spend like most of the time talking about. The rest of them are just bottom feeders or middle tier. Ohio State's odds to win the division are plus 170. The conference, Michigan is plus 175. Penn State is plus 550, and Wisconsin is plus 750. So next we can talk about, I guess, Iowa. Kate McNamara, former Michigan quarterback, transfers there, along with Eric All, tight end. This is kind of like you better score some points or you might get fired, Kirk Ferentz, because remember he hired his son as the offensive coordinator.
Dude, we talked about this team like all the time last year, and basically it was like, can they score?
Can they score?
Can they score? Which is crazy. Literally,
insert Beavis and Butthead.
Quarterback through.
They're gonna score. We're gonna score. Just give us some time.
Bro, their
give us some
starting
time.
quarterback had 5 touchdown passes last year, man. That should tell you a lot, dude.
Man,
5 touchdown passes.
There are little league teams who throw 5 touchdowns in 2 games. If you watch Iowa football,
like worse than DJ, bro.
If you watch Iowa football willingly, like you go to the stadium, you spend your hard-earned money there, they should up the taxes on you because obviously you want to waste money. They should up your taxes personally. They should just up your taxes personally. I'm not even gonna lie. That's just asinine. I would not spend one dime to watch this team play football. You can bet on the defense being pretty good. You know, Kirk Ferentz, that's what he does. As far as Tarp goes, they're at -8, -7 on offense, so they lost pretty much. Sam Laporta, you know, he went on. He got drafted by the Detroit Lions. They lost some other people to the draft. And then on defense, they are -1. But, you know, Kirk Ferentz will get those guys. He'll get them coached up, and they'll be playing pretty well. It's just really, can Kirk Ferentz's son, who's the new offensive coordinator, so the heat's on the head coach and the offensive coordinator because nepotism. You hired your son, and if he can't average at least 20-something points a game, then you're going to be in hot water because it's time for you to come out the Stone Age, Iowa. You can't keep playing defense and kicking field goals and running the ball. Eventually, you got to put the ball in the end zone. Do you hear me, Kirk Ferentz? Put the ball in the end zone. Put the ball in the end zone. I should come interrupt your parent practice and just stop it and be like, everybody, we need to put the ball in the end zone. Y'all just don't understand that concept at Iowa. Maybe those kids y'all wave. I'm not even trying to be funny. You know how they wave at the kids during the intermission. They need to hang. The kids need to have signs. Put the ball in the end zone. That will make us happy too. Like seriously.
Dude, my projected starters, man. I got like 8 returning for them. Like 8 on offense, 7 on defense. But they still couldn't do shit last year. So
don't make me hopeful for this year either.
No, because they gave y'all like not even. They took a shit like an ass whooping to Ohio State, and then lost to Nebraska, last year's Nebraska. But then they beat Kentucky in the bowl game, man. I don't know. I got these boys at like 7 or 8 wins, man. Like iffy 7 to 8 wins. I mean.
Well, I know Wisconsin's going to win that part of the conference. I know they are because as long as they don't slip up against Washington State.
Because the Big Ten are still split, right? Like there's a legend.
Still East and the West.
Yeah, okay.
As far as Iowa go, they play Iowa State away at Iowa State. They go to Penn State. They go to Wisconsin, and then I mean those are probably the 3 losses they're for sure going to have. Anybody else they lose to, I'd be surprised. Maybe the end of the year, maybe Rutgers, maybe old boy got him coached up by then. What's his name? He just got fired from the Panthers, man. I just got Matt Rule. Maybe
Matt Rule. Yeah, Nebraska. Who knows? Like Nebraska is definitely a toss-up because Matt Rule. He's definitely like an aroma builder. Like that dude kind of
give him 2 years and he'll have Nebraska consistently ranked top 25.
Yeah, he was a decent coach, man. I felt
he's
like
not built for the
NFL.
Foot
in his mouth.
He's not built for the NFL. He's not built for the NFL.
This man said on national television that the Panthers were 8 years away from a Super Bowl. You don't tell fans.
You're not a D2 coach where they're just going to let you linger. Bro. You're not a D2 coach where all you got to do is make the playoffs every 2 years and nobody gets.
Yeah, no, bro. Like we're ready to win now.
You got to be ready. As soon as you get the job, the clock's ticking.
Years, bro.
You get 4 years as a head coach, really, if you're any good.
Dude, literally, this man said 8 years. I swear to God, like the moment he said 8 years, I was like, "Oh, he's out the door."
We got the fucking wrong guy.
I thought it was crazy that we even brought a college coach to us. That was just, I felt like an experiment, but.
I bet Matt Rule thought it was crazy that y'all hired him too. He was like, "These guys just don't know." I didn't even win the Big 12.
They brought in a great cast. We brought in Joe Brady, thinking that was all him, and that was totally all Joe Burrow and 2 Hall of Fame wide receivers.
And David Tepper was like, "I don't understand. Defense. I hired a guy who had Baylor winning 10 games. He was like, yeah, but I didn't win the Big 12 though." He's like, I brought in Joe Brady. He was like, yeah, but I don't have Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Terrence Marshall.
Yeah,
I don't have any of those guys. So it's if you can get me those guys, we can recreate some things. But if you can't get me those guys, I guess I'll have to be stuck with Baker Mayfield. I guess I'll be stuck with Baker Mayfield. I guess so.
We let go of Joe Brady after 1 year.
It's like, fuck that. It was like, that was a mistake.
That dude was trash. No, he was trash.
Just in case you guys are wondering, the price on Iowa to win the Big Ten, it is plus 1,200. You can just not light that money on fire. Let's talk about Illinois next. One thing I did want to point out, though, about Iowa, because I wanted to look this up. Iowa was the third worst team in total offense last year. You know who was behind them in the Big Ten?
In the league?
In the whole nation. Only behind Rutgers.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the whole nation.
Just Rutgers and New Mexico, the only two teams that were worse. So Iowa, you got no place to go but up. Trust me. And I think Caden McNamara, he'll make that offense a little better. No, he's not that strong of a passer, but at least they'll have somewhat of an offense, a balanced offense.
You got somebody who knows what they're doing out there, finally.
Well, I'm glad he's in Iowa, not in Michigan anymore. Thank you for everything you've done, but that weak-ass arm cost us games. Iowa, particularly the fucking Michigan State game. Iowa -8. We already talked about Iowa. Illinois, they are 1.5 in TARP. They are -0.5 on D, and obviously that secondary was a big part of that. I think they should be worse than that, man. That secondary being gone really hurts this team. And then they're +2 on offense.
They got one returning starter on the secondary.
One returning starter in that secondary that was so good and so pivotal. How many they got total on defense?
6 returning on defense.
Okay, so that's not bad. The
offense, both special teams are back.
Chase Brown's gone, so that was the whole offense. I'm not expecting much out of Illinois, but I'm not expecting them to be a total dumpster fire either. Brett Bielema, he has a pretty good team. He runs a pretty tight ship. Plus 3,000 to win the conference for that team. I'm not really expecting much out of Illinois. They're going to go bowling. They do play Kansas.
Yeah, they should go bowling.
They do play Kansas week 2. They're at Kansas.
At Kansas. That's a toss-up.
They play Penn State the week after that at home. Then they play FAU. And I'm going to say FAU because after those 2 games, that'll be one of them games where people just be like, oh, man, Illinois should beat the hell out of them. The FAU comes out there and covers whatever the spread is. They also have Maryland. They go on the road to play Maryland and come back and play Wisconsin. So they're going to lose at least 3 to 4 of those games. And you got to think late in the season they might slip up at Iowa. So this team will go bowling, but unless is DeVito still the quarterback? Is the quarterback still the guy from last year? If it's the quarterback from last year, I don't want any parts of this team.
No, they got the Ole Miss transfer.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah. No, this dude's name is Luke Altemeyer. It's a
Luke Alternator. Transfer. Luke the Alternator.
Tommy DeVito, he's gone.
Good. I know they're happy about that. Moving right along, let's talk about Minnesota. PJ Fleck run the rotor boat, plus 4,000 to win the Big Ten. Minus 1.5 TARP. They got 1.5 on the offense, but most of that is -3 on the defense. They lost tons on the defense.
They only got 4 on both sides, what I'm looking at.
PJ, new quarterback, new running back. The star running back, they're going to actually have to get some weapons on the outside.
I'm not running back and 2 projected starters, they're seniors. They're all seniors, but they're not starters at all from last year.
I don't expect to see them do much.
Quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers, a couple offensive linemen. Those are brand new starters this year.
Yeah, man. They open up with Matt Rule.
They got a really good tight end, but other than that,
they open up with Nebraska and Eastern Michigan, so they could be feeling really good about themselves. But then they play North Carolina and they play Michigan. And they go to Iowa. They play Illinois. They go to Ohio State and they finish at Wisconsin. So this team might be fighting for a bowl. You know,
yeah, for sure.
They're going to have to make sure they are really good between the Iowa, Michigan State, Illinois, and Purdue game. They're going to have to really clean up there and make sure they take care of at least 3 to 4 of those. I mean, 3 of those games, because essentially they should beat Eastern Michigan and Nebraska and whatever the hell else that little small team they play before Michigan is. So they're going to need at least a couple more wins. But PJ Fleck, he tends to get his team where they need to be. I'll trust in the coach. I'll trust in PJ Fleck. I
like PJ Fleck, man. He's had a really good year a couple of years back, man. They just couldn't win the big game. They brought them gold helmets out, if I'm not mistaken.
What team should we talk about next? I feel like we're talking about all Big Ten West teams. Let's talk about
Maryland.
Let's talk about Maryland, a team that I think, they're not going to win the Big Ten, in my opinion. They do have to put them. They could put themselves in position. They do have a lot. They do have a good bit returning. Should finish with a pretty good record. Outside Ohio State, on which they go on the road for, they have Penn State at home and Michigan at home. Outside of that, they should win every game on their schedule. And if they could sneak one of those games as a win, that would be great for the program. Tua's little brother would be great for evaluation for him. When it comes to TARP, they're plus 3.5, 2.5 on offense, and plus 1 on defense too. So, they are plus 8,000 to win the conference also. Did you have
tough odds, man. That's tough odds right there.
I mean, you just want to put some money down just for the sake of putting some money down. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely not what I want to put my money on.
No, hell no. Hell no. He's got some skill players around him coming back, but other than that, that's a long shot. That's a long shot.
I didn't even I didn't even tell you guys the team. I mean the win totals. I'll go back. Wisconsin is 8.5. That's tough, man. I don't know if I want to.
I didn't write down my win totals for the Big Ten. I thought I did.
And Michigan's is 10.5. I'm gonna go over.
No, I got the over. Let's do over-unders real quick, if you don't mind.
Penn State's over 9. Penn State's 9.5. I got over. All they gotta do is beat.
You got the over on Penn State?
All they gotta do is beat one of Michigan and or Ohio State. Let me see what other Big Ten team that we don't talk about. We can talk about Northwestern right here just because it popped up. Northwestern's is 2.5. Northwestern, as far as TARP goes, is plus 2. 0.5 on offense, 1.5 on defense. But it really doesn't matter, man. Just with the controversy they got going on, they got a interim head coach. Obviously,
oh my God,
we're
the weirdest controversy of all time.
This team stunk last year, and it's not going to be any different this year. It's not going to be any difference this year.
And a fucking 11. They beat Nebraska though.
Let's see.
That was a Scott Frost, Nebraska, I think.
I mean, maybe they can beat the team they play before they go on the bye, and maybe they can get UTEP. But
I was going to say UTEP and Howard. If you can't,
they can get UTEP and Howard. That's it. I mean, I don't think any other team on their schedule losing to them.
No,
I don't. Unless they lose to Rutgers, unless they beat Rutgers week 1. So I'm going under.
UTEP.
I'm going under.
Under, what was the number? I'm sorry.
2.5.
I'd probably take it.
Now you said something about Wisconsin, right? It was 8.5.
Yeah. What was your win total on West? I'll take the yikes. Wisconsin. I think I would take the over. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What'd you say it was? 8.5?
Mm-hmm.
Give me the over.
Need over.
Give me the over. I'm a betting man on that one. Give me the over.
What about 10.5 for Ohio State?
10.5. Give it to me.
I'll take the under.
Really?
They're gonna lose.
Dude, I would love if they.
They're gonna lose to us at Penn State.
Dude, I would love if they didn't. But dude, I think it's like I said. I mean, it's like going from an old car to a new car, man. This quarterback coming in, like, he should literally step in and be like, "Holy fuck! I got two of the best receivers in the country.
Everything you can be.
I have a dog as a running back right behind me.
He does.
I have a hell of a tight end.
He got everything he needs. Ryan Day still his coach.
Yeah, dude, it's a winning situation. Like, it's totally a winning situation. No, fuck Ryan Day for sure, and fuck Ohio State for sure. But no, I'm totally with you on that, dude. I'm totally with you on that. But dude, I like the over for Ohio State, man. I don't know, but I would love if they just like won 7 games this year.
Boo that man. Boo. Illinois 6.5.
Over. I don't know. Something's calling over, dude. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm gonna look at that schedule myself too.
6,
I feel like we were just
7,
in unison about this team.
7.5.
Toledo.
I take the over, man.
Purdue. They'll get Purdue. They'll get Minnesota. I'm right there with you. I'll take the over. Their last 4 games, they'll probably win them all. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Turn around, and then we'll look at.
We haven't talked about Michigan State.
I mean, Peyton Thorne transferred. Their best receiver transferred. Their quarterback transferred. She's going to be ass.
4 returning starters.
It is 2.5. I mean, it is minus 6.5, minus 7 on offense and 0.5 on defense. They're just gonna be starting over on offense basically, and they were already below average on offense last year. Mel Tucker's defense didn't play worth a shit last year. Little brother, not gonna be good. I'm going under the win total.
Do you think this dude's on the hot seat?
Maybe not. Maybe they just gave him extension last year.
This is year 4, but you missed out on the bowl last year. You just got a brand new facility. I don't know if you saw that. They got brand new unis, a brand new locker room.
Uniforms have always been shit. Their uniforms have always been trash.
Like, what are you gonna do here, man? I don't give that dude much longer if they don't make a bowl. If they don't win a fucking bowl. But you're in the back half of the Big Ten. It's kind of tough because they got them ranked like 8. How many? I mean,
it's 5.5.
5.5.
I'm taking the under. Mel Tucker, you bald man. You better show me what you can do this year. Let's look at that schedule. Let me see.
I'm thinking the under, man.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. They start with Central Michigan. Is that Richmond?
That's not a lay down. Yeah, Richmond.
They're going to get punished by Washington, beat by Maryland, struggle with Iowa. They might. They play Rutgers. Man, it's going to be a stretch because really they're going to need to beat Minnesota, Nebraska, and Indiana to get over this win total. And maybe Iowa.
Because you got Maryland, you got Maryland, at Iowa, at Rutgers, Michigan, at Minnesota. Dude, I feel like they're going to lose all of those games. I feel like all of those games. And then Nebraska at home, who knows what Nebraska's going to look like.
By then, I think they'll be getting full. I think they'll be swinging in full cylinders by then. So
yeah,
I'm going under.
And then you go at Ohio State, at Indiana, Penn State. Yeah, I'll take the under.
I went the under, 100% now.
Yeah, that's no.
It's just not a team I'm willing to bet any money on. Maybe fading all year. Let's talk about Purdue and then Nebraska.
All
Purdue, new quarterback, new coach. Of course, he's going to Louisville, right? Brom went to Louisville. Aiden McConnell, quarterback, went to the draft. Charlie Jones, their best receiver, went to the draft. This team is -3 on target, -1 on offense, -2.5 on defense. They also lost that corner to the draft.
They only
Win
got
total
stars
of
coming out on
5.
defense.
Win total of 5.
They brought in a new
2.5.
quarterback from Texas. I guess that dude would be like a third or fourth string at Texas.
Was it Hudson Card?
Yeah, Hudson Card.
He couldn't hit the broad side of a board last year for fucking Texas. So it's going to be better with Purdue with lesser talent in a worse scheme.
This is the same dude that took over against Alabama, right?
They couldn't hit wide open receivers. Couldn't convert first downs, and now he goes to a team with worse talent.
Game, man. They should have won that fucking game, dude. Bryce Young, he's my new favorite.
You know what's kind of weird? They opened the season with
Bryce Young, but
they opened the season with Fresno State, Virginia Tech, and Syracuse, and it's like those aren't particularly easy games for a team of Purdue's magnitude. You know what I'm saying?
No, they'll lose to Syracuse, I think.
Fresno State, by virtue of losing a lot to the draft and losing Jake Hayner, okay. But Virginia Tech and Syracuse are just going to let you walk over them. And they could totally lose those games. I'm going to go under. I'm just looking at the schedule, just that non-conference games, just new coach, new quarterback. I'll go under. Fuck it. I'll take a shot on under the 5.5. You know, at this point, I'm not even talking about
that bowl loss too.
Odds. Because who cares about Purdue's conference odds? I don't give a damn.
No, yeah. Their bowl loss last year too.
It's like plus 10,000.
They're still not getting over it.
They got better odds than Michigan State. Oh man,
that's wild to even think about, dude. That is literally wild to even think about.
Do we need to spend time talking about Nebraska? I swear we've talked about them at least 3 different times.
They're too new. They're too new for us to
do anything.
Last year's shit because
new quarterback coming in,
offense, 7 on defense coming back. That Jeff Sims dude from Georgia Tech. I mean, that's interesting, man. That's really interesting that he went to Nebraska. He played us really well last year in that opening game, but we had DJ at quarterback, so anybody could have hung with us.
Can't wait to talk about the Pac-12 and talk about DJ.
I don't know. I'm gonna shit on this dude. I'm not gonna lie, dude.
I can't wait. We'll try to knock them out soon. It's only one more team.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. There's too many questions in the air. There's way too many questions in the air. But they do got Colorado week 2. I don't know. Maybe they can beat up on Deion Sanders. Maybe.
A lot of teams are going to try to run the score upon the Colorado. I'm telling everybody now. Yeah. A lot of teams are going to try to. They're pissed at what Deion's got going on. All those transfers, the way he's been talking, and coaches are going to be trying to score. So those are going to be games I'm looking to bet the over on, because if you get the offense out of Colorado, those games are going to go over. But we'll talk about that up here coming soon. But one thing we're not going to waste our time to talk about is Indiana. They have minus 11.5 in TARP. They lost. They lost minus 7 on offense and minus 4.5 on defense. Everybody left. They
got the worst returning starters in the league.
So we're not wasting no time. We're under. I don't even fuck what it is. I don't even looking it up. Under.
Yeah.
Under. They have the worst odds in the fucking conference. Indiana ain't winning shit. And they have a freshman quarterback, but I doubt they're going to play him, because why would they subject them to that type of beating?
I feel that. But you're talking about that Trayvon Jackson, dude?
Yeah.
6'3", 212. I don't know. I'd throw his ass out there. Why not? Hey, you want to hear something crazy? The last league title for Indiana. You want to take a guess?
Like 60, like 63.
Like 67. 1967.
Been sorry
That's
for like
fucking
80 years. It's crazy.
That shit don't make no sense.
At least been sorry.
That don't make no sense. How did it's like
triple
generational
60 years.
losing?
Yeah.
It's just like generational losing, dude.
They had Michael Penix Jr. and they
How
were
the
still losing.
fuck does that even happen, dude?
They had Michael Penix Jr. and they still were losing.
I like that guy too.
That's what happens when you're a abysmal team. You know what I'm saying? Just what happens. That's what happens.
That shit's a depressing thought. I went down a dark hole right there. I was literally just like thinking, I'm like, dude, I don't think I could actually follow the sport if my team was trashed for 60 years.
Yeah, I
don't. Dude, I just would lose complete interest.
I'd find something else to have fandom in. It would not be that.
Oh my god!
I'd switch.
Yeah,
I just switch. I just take the team that just won the national championship. If I was an Indiana fan, I'd just be like, I'm a Georgia fan now. I feel like I want to experience some joy, some kind of joy. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like this, something has to give here. In today's the day.
You definitely have to go out of conference.
Final thoughts on this conference, man. You got anything?
We didn't cover Rutgers, but there ain't much to really say.
The fighting, the Schiamo Mans. I mean, what? It's Rutgers. Like they were the second worst offense in the league last year. They returned.
Yeah.
-1 in TARP, -2.5 on offense, and they were already bad on offense. And they returned a sorry ass quarterback. That ain't gonna make them any better. And it's gonna take Greg Schiano some time. They'll be happy if they win 3 or 4 games. It's Rutgers, man. Scarlet Knights.
Scarlet Knights, man.
I'm not spending no time on Rutgers. My only thought about this conference is I still don't understand how Ohio State is favored to win the conference over Michigan, but that's neither here nor there. We'll do that talking on the field. We'll do that for talking on the field.
What was I gonna? Damn, man, I don't. Let's see. Going down the list. Yeah, we done covered them all pretty much. Win totals, returning starters, productivity. I mean. What I got written down, dude, McCarthy, dude, player of the year. Big Ten player of the year.
Big things coming.
He's gonna take it, man.
I think the passing game is gonna be way better.
Dude, he's very mature, man. He's like very, like, dude, I can't even believe like the comparison between. Hold on, the baby monitor move. All right, we straight. McCarthy, just like to have Cade. And then him just leave the program, and then have J.J. McCarthy like right behind him, just like beating the door down to get on the field, dude. Yeah. Beating the door down. It's pretty cool, man. And then just like maybe a mistake or two away from a national championship appearance. Expect big things, man.
Expect big things, man.
We expect big things, man.
I do.
For real, dude.
I do.
Because, dude, that fucking... Y'all had probably one of the more exciting bowl games last year. I mean, the playoff was great until the title game. Like,
yeah.
The playoff was great. Y'all against TCU, like, y'all lost. I mean, we lost to Tennessee. You know, we lost our bowl game. That shit... Dude, if you go back, dude, something I love about college football, man, is YouTube. I love recorded YouTube games. Like, you go there anywhere, they're there. And you click on TCU versus Michigan, regardless of the result. That is a hype-ass game.
It's an entertaining
The announcers were hype. The crowd was amazing.
No cap.
Oh, my God, dude. And then the play on the field was great. For a college football fan, that shit was fucking amazing.
Yeah. And we're almost there, guys. We are literally
dude, y'all are just
18
so
days
close,
away. 18
days
away.
Man. I want Harbaugh to just get over the fucking hump, man. I want him to get over that hump so fucking bad, man. So people stop talking.
This is probably the best chance he got. This is probably the best chance he got.
Best.
So we'll see.
Yeah, literally, I wrote this down. This is like possibly the most talented team he's had for y'all.
And cashing in on those with recruiting too. So, I tell you like this, man. We got 18 days to crank out like several conference previews. So we're gonna take tomorrow off, and we're gonna get back at it on Thursday while we're watching preseason, I guess. Because trust me, guys, we're gonna hammer out every conference by the end of next week, no matter what.
Yeah, 100%.
But no matter what, we'll get you in the next by week 0. You will come into week 0 at Saturday with Brent a whole season preview, top 25, and conference champions and Heisman and all that. But we're just glad to be back. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're here. We're video. We're audio. Gotta put this up on YouTube. My son
just woke up, man.
That's actually perfect because we're ending, so we can sign it out.
Let me get off here, dude. I fucking love you, bro. I fucking love you, man.
I love you too.
I'm gonna have to go get him, man.
Love y'all.
Yo, we dusted off the cobwebs, dude. I'll be better for episode 2, bro. I love you, man.
Showdown.
He's crying, man. I gotta get
Chip.
this.
This is Puffy. We're out of here.
Chip and Puffy, the Saturday Showdown. Fuck with us.
Peace.